do it with armor, but not like this. So I want to see what ideas they've got. NAVI always cook. Sometimes it's bad.
Someone read the patch notes and thought it was this week. Well, let's see what NAVI has got cooked up for us. This is going to be an exciting match, a unique one, if nothing else, and a historic one. That's for goddamn sure. Fnatic on the defense, starting this one out in a little bit of aggression. They've already gotten into elbow. Dirk is in spot, and he's got a TP back to B, but they're forcing this aggro on the wrong side of the map. And the question is, will Fnatic get that read quick enough to make any sort of adjustment? NAVI, on the other hand, they are pumping the brakes, waiting for someone to overpeak, waiting for a mistake to be made. They'll have to make a choice eventually. I am intrigued to see how Angel makes his way onto sites, because that Viper wall is essential for almost all the setups that we see coming through for Yoru. There have to be ideas, and, well, this team's never afraid to try something wacky.
No, straight away, you're going to have the smokes, getting them across. Not going to have anything in sort of late round utility. That's going to be one of the bigger issues that they'll have here. Shock darts put through, but not really going to be able to die too much. And already look at Xiao lurking his way through the backlines. The first kill finally onto the board, and it goes the way of NAVI. In fact, so does absolutely everything. Only going to be 2 remaining. Leo at least will be able to find 1. But they've got to watch out for the man lurking in the backlines. Even if they manage to find a kill up front, I don't think it's going to matter.
Now at this stage, there's nothing to be done by Chronicle. It's only a matter of time, lined up and ready to take him down. 1-0 for NAVI, and a convincing start. They found the space, and it was wide open as well. Again, this is an area that Fnatic put a lot of presence on B, so the A site's that little bit easier to get onto. From that point, though, it's all about Zipan. Nothing but clean shots out of this guy dancing around those pyramids.
Yeah, a pest. I think something that needs to be brought up as well is this match has more stakes than a lot of others. Not only we talk about qualification to the playoffs, both of these teams will get that with a victory. Obviously, then life goes into other teams' hands, although I feel like both these teams are in okay positions, but not the best. But also, Boaster versus Angel. This has been going on since 2020. These two guys have been facing off against each other. I'll say at least in recent times. Fnatic have probably had most of the wins.
Oh, yeah.
They had most of the wins in general last year. But it's looking like 2024 is different for everybody. NAVI having a loss last week to BBL should tell you all you need to know. And the question is, who's going to be waiting for other teams to do them a favor, and who is going to make it straight through into the playoffs?
Yeah, a long time ago, Tom, it would be nothing but these two teams in the grand final again and again. This was the
G2.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I was going to say, right? This is like the second iteration of Valorant. The first was a year of G2, 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 and then we moved to these two battling for it. Angel was constantly winning those battles, and that was only weeks to months after we had heard Boaster say...
people on the street.
Yeah, as Angel said, he just picked those guys up off the street. And you know, for Boaster, he used to say, I can't wait to play against Angel. I want to be considered an IGL who's up there in terms of respect with a player like him. Have a team like his that can stand as one of the best within the region. And, well, that dream was achieved, but lost more recently. Looking to reclaim that former glory, and no better way than to defeat those old rivals.
I think that's both teams, really. Like, the NAVI have been one to looking to try and get back Ardis in the roster again. For now, though, it's just about what damage can be done. Only going to have themselves the pistols. They stack the B site. Have managed to garner a Guardian, at least for a second. And you have to bear in mind the way that NAVI plays is those 3 rifles, couple of pistols. And one of those rifles is currently in the hands of Alpha. Looking to try and take anybody down with him, but more importantly, try and remove that gun from play. Angel's given up his position, but the shot not quite connected, and he won't even win that fight either. Eventually, they get it over the line, but are they actually going to be able to retrieve that? I don't even think Sugetsu tried to run for it, no?
No, he was never going to make it there. No dash on the Cypher, so unlucky. Another weapon lost and decent damage done. Yeah, Fnatic get off to an okay start, but this is really where the meat and potatoes is. The rifle's out, and you get to capitalize on any damage done. With 15 seconds before those barriers go up, much different look out of this squad in the defense. A presence, 4 players around this area, and it looks like one's going to be rotating back. It's the Viper, leaving the Viper wall for a potential retake on A, and of course to make things that little bit more awkward for them. It also helps them out massively on mid. You know, you got to commit a player to controlling this section of the map, or you're going to have much more awkward rotates and positions held by Fnatic late in the round.
Well, the thing that's going to be interesting, especially for NAVI, is only having this Astra available for those smokes. It means that your hits Well, you basically get one attempt.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you can play slow around the map, you can look for these openers, but you get one attempt and execute. If that fails, you don't have the smokes to do it anymore. So it definitely has a high level of risk, but a decent amount of variance that they can try and pull in. For now, it is that slow default. They've still got 4 rifles. It's only the one that was lost from Xiao in the previous rounds. There's still a lot of danger for Fnatic in this one. And they're playing it very passive indeed. No mid presence other than the slight jiggle peek coming out from Chronicle. And eventually, with nothing really found, NAVI are going to have to build into that take.
If they were trying to bait an early rotation, it's not going to work this time around. There was no gate crash down for Durka, and even now, his gate crash, I'm not sure if it's intended, but it didn't make it all the way through, so much more passive fallback keeps him around this site for a fight early, and Chronicle doubling up on the angle. They weren't ready for it, weren't expecting there to be another player around there. Angel, oh, he's stuck destroying utility, and the fight won by Chronicle leaves them in a very tough spot. Still a pistol on Xiao, who will be quickly taken down, and Chronicle's looking to get that a little bit more. Although it's Durka to steal it away, the round goes to Fnatic flawlessly.
It's handily here flawless. I'll say I'm pretty sure that Durka stole that kills in more ways than one. He completely blinded his teammate and then got the kill. But
his kill.
Hey, he took it, and that's all that matters. The openers as well, the 1-2 punch, and I think also just the fact that the stun was there, maybe expecting somebody to still be on that angle, but it didn't really matter. Chronicle landing every single shot placed in front of him. But as said, that still was a bonus. Even though it was clean, there is going to be a purchase back up for NAVI. Dimensional Drift online. Now, we have seen Yoru played by Angel on this map a few times before, but definitely not with the consistency we've seen recently from other teams. This time, though, a little bit quicker in their take of mid, but as you can see, Fnatic are not fighting for this whatsoever.
No, they've given up a lot of control, and again, a different Viper wall, despite Viper being on B. It's a much more aggressive one inside A main, blocking off a lot of space. If you're the attackers and you're not inside A main, as soon as that wall goes up, you've lost so much control of the map. There's just going to be a trap left to catch them as they push up, and these things are going to be interesting to see in the second half, where NAVI don't have that wall to work around. They don't have those setups and what they bring to play instead. In round 4, it looks like a very direct approach to the B site. Gate crash thrown out from mid. So this is going to get him a position to TP onto the boxes, and potentially even catch that Viper off guard. It's all timing based. Apparently, Artis is way ahead of it.
Even still, Alpha, he's going to get wrapped on. There was Angel. It was actually the fake out that got tagged initially. But I'm just going to go looking for information, just try and clear everything out on those backlines, even go potentially back through mid. May have even seen Durka going through the spawn. I'm not necessarily sure. It seems like Sugetsu's already holding for it, though.
Oh, there's the flash. That's going to give it away. Maybe for Durka, you know, it's the right play in a lot of situations, but the element of surprise gone. The flash is perfect! That double that secures main, gets ult online, and now they look to the site. Gate crash in, no flashes. But he can reveal the information. That's all this is about. One on the backside spotted. I don't think he saw Zipban somehow, but there's the info. Eventually connected. They can start the defuse, bait them into open fights, but Durka's gone down. Chronicle does well, protecting the president on the defuse, and Leo comes out to finish the final kill. Neck and neck, 4 rounds in. Fnatic have got some fight to this defense.
Oh, yeah. And that was a full-on retake as well after the openers. That was the thing. The way that round started for NAVI was fantastic. You have the initial opener from Artis, the 1-2 punch of Angel, but it's Durka. It is Durka, and that 1v2 in the backlines, they were ready for him, they were watching for him, and he still manages to get both of them in quick succession. A huge start for someone who's had a resurgence. Like, he started off very slow. I definitely think a lot of people were starting to ask questions, and that's the crazy thing. There's so much depth to this roster that it's difficult to ever find someone to blame, but a lot of people are looking at Durka. As said, the last couple of weeks, he's been back to form and has started this map off strong.
Let's have Fnatic, a little bit of damage round 2, good connections. And the last 2 have left NAVI in a spot with just pistols. Cosmic Divide for Xiao. Zipban has his Hunter's Fury as well. Artis, the only man with the rifle, and he's dropped alone. That rifle irretrievable at this point, and it's a wall bang, not even off the back of a reveal. Just having spotted him. A devastating way to lose the only real chance you have to do clean damage on range. They can still be nasty with the Sheriffs, but those shots need to be precise. That's a good one to start.
Chronicle's lucky to be alive. Oh, aggression from Durka though, and he might just get both.
Chronicle?
Yeah, Leo's got a team kill, but we're just gonna try and ignore that. Somehow that's brought it back, though, into a competitive position. Angel's got himself a rifle. Leo almost needs to try and fix this. He's going to be able to hear the steps already of Angel, and he may just catch the rotation. Timing here is going to be everything, because Alpha is on his way back around. I don't think Xiao's necessarily going to be expecting this, and he won't spot Leo either. It's going to be left all onto the IGL. 1 versus 3 to try and at least do some damage here.
Well, this round would be a heaven sent with 13 seconds as he goes for the second plant. Having been spammed down originally, revealed, hit by the vulnerable of the snake bite, caught by a bit of decay, and now peeked out from the side. Really wasn't a lot of ways out of there for Angel. They had him surrounded and dealt with quickly, 3-2. And after a pistol round win and a follow-up, NAVI find themselves behind by a round.
Yeah, you're seeing the way that they're able to be proactive on this defense. Okay, sure, there was a few shenanigans in the mix, but it's again just what Durka is able to do with these aggressive plays on that Yoru. Seems to be having an absolute field day.
Happens to the best of us, because it happened to Leo.
The thing is, though, coming into this round is where the ults start to come online for either side. Zipan and Leo both having the Hunter's Fury. Blade Storm as well for Ardis is always going to be terrifying. And also, one of the ults that, for once, is going to have mass impact is that Cosmic Divide. Because, yeah, you don't have yourself a Viper screen, but every time you get that ult, you're going to get it for a little bit.
Maybe that's the idea behind putting it on Xiao. Right? It's almost as good as it's a Viper wall every 2 rounds. If he's having a good game.
Except he's having a great game.
Then I guess you don't really need the ult, right? Just send him out to do some more of that.
He's like, guys, I got another 3K, we have the ult. It's like, yeah, you kind of killed everyone.
A slower approach to the attack. Again, we saw this in the pistol. Waiting for Fnatic's proactivity, for the overpeaks to come through. There's no pressure on this setup. And the other thing we haven't mentioned really about NAVI, the thing that hits me the most, some of my favorite plays and favorite strats on this map have revolved around a KO. And coming in without one, it can make things a lot more difficult and running into players like Alpha's setup. Curious to see if we have issues there later. Durka. This is a nasty position, not one you'll see occupied all too often at any level of gameplay. He's TP'd out to yellow. Although there's a decoy running around the left side, there's no one really to challenge him up close. Still catching the kill onto Ardis from miles away. Flash is good, it's great in fact. And now everything left onto Zipan, a 1 versus 4, the spike not planted. They have a good idea where he is now with the push out of Durka. They've boxed him in as well.
Yeah, this is looking like prime Durka at the moment. He is just running right around the server. There is nothing that anyone on the NAVI squad could do. He's getting an opener, he's getting out of there, and then goes back for a little bit more just a few seconds later in each different circumstance. And that's the thing, that is the real value of this Yoru, is he's still able to basically reposition similarly to what we saw from his chamber in the past.
And one other aspect of the Viper as well, because this is the Viper screen that's in play that blocks out Tube. It's the same one we saw on site that can cover out mid control, but thrown a little bit to the left, so you have no control over that deep angle. The thing is, you're just not...
We have just seen Angel looking pretty vocal, so maybe something that he believes can get them back in, especially going a little bit more direct. I think with what Durka has been doing with these cheeky, aggressive plays, playing as a unit, moving as a squad, gives you a lot less likelihood of being caught out.
Who's next?
Well, the ult popped. A minute 30 on the clock as Angel looks to move towards the site. Not a ton of information to work with, and well, now a little bit of danger. Oh, coming out of the ult, just drive facing him. That hasn't worked out according to plan, and now the response from Durka. They've already got the advantage, but they're not happy with it. Hunter's Fury thrown through for even more. All things considered, NAVI might be happy with the amount they've been able to force out of Fnatic. They had a lot of ults online coming into this round, and with mostly pistols, they're able to take those ults out of their hand.
I guess the counter is they've also used a couple of their own. That's true. Like, to get no kills in a round where you use Dimensional Drift and a Blade Storm is definitely not ideal, even if the ults are traded out on the other side. And if we're being honest, Durka hasn't really needed them much thus far. He's playing an aggressive game, but a safe one at that. He's still going to go in for the further fights, looking to try and get himself even more in terms of that ult coming back. He used it this round as another Andaluthia Flawless. And he's already getting close to halfway to the ult again.
It's got to be so frustrating as well. You hear the gate crash activated because he fakes the TP, and a shock dart lands seconds later. It makes perfect sense. You threw utility in, he got out of there early. Nope. he's coming back to fight. And, well, yeah, seeing that from the perspective of Sugetsu, I don't think there was much he could do. I'm very surprised that Fnatic decided to commit so much to it, but after the pause, they're making Navi feel like they're outclassed. But that was with pistols. Navi can fall back on that mentally. Now they get the rifles out, and this big old gun, the operator in play for Artis. Again, though, that wall has been blocking vision, not just on middle, but in tube as well. So that early information and early fights won't be there for Navi, and Dirk has taken advantage of it with an off-angle position. And although he doesn't hit his shot, there's no punish with the gate crash.
Yeah, that's the thing. He has not been greedy in any of the fights he's been taking. It really is incredibly disciplined Yoru play out from Durka right now. On the other side of things, can't say the same. Angel's been very aggressive, and he is not prepared for the reswing. Even still, it's only going to be a trade. Chronicle has gone down in response. But again, a lot of what we're expecting from this attack side is having those few smokes and then having Angel there to take the space. Well, Angel's already gone, and they've got a minute left.
Well, that's it. Durka was showing him he's a little bit predictable. Sending the decoy out, and Durka just walks straight past it. Taking the fight on Angel, leaving them with an advantage, and now he sends out his own on the back of a flash. No, flash not committed just yet. He's holding on to that for a little bit later. In fact, it looks like he's about to get a push right up on top of him. Sugetsu down, but the trade comes in quickly. Advantage still sitting with Navi with that spike down. Shao manages to find Alpha just moments after the ult. And the shock dart for damage, but it won't get enough. Leo needs to find his kill on the zip ban, and there it is. His shock darts have been deadly for either side. There's still enough time to get this one done. And a position that they can manage to defuse on just behind that pillar. The orb going to be used. Delaying it with the grab well. Time's still there as they attempt it one more time. Here come the spams.
No.
Not quite on, and it's already too late. It's gone! Leo confirms it with the kills, but I don't think they could deny that anyways. Fnatic have stolen the round out, leaving Navi trailing on 2.
That's a painful one. Again, a lot of the fights were going their way. You see Shao with an effective lurk into middle. Zipan kind of gets caught in no man's land, just being forced out by so much different utility that just trying to get away ends up going down to a second shock dart again. Leo, the shock dart king. We've spoken about it. On this map in particular, just unbelievable, but more and more and more we're seeing the value of having a Viper. Post plants would have been wonderful there. And that is almost Artis dead immediately. 5 HP.
Toe tapped. Luckily, the updraft saved his life and the utility that came alongside it. Trading out that HP for a little bit of control. It's interesting as well in that replay. I've never seen someone look so upset at getting a 3K in a round. Leo looked genuinely frustrated. There's Durka after the reposition, catching Zipban on the mid swing. And the 5 HP Artis about to step into a firing squad on B. You've got Alpha staring him down, and that shouldn't be too difficult of a kill. He's got to, I mean, you'd think he's got to be so careful. Artis on 5 health, playing it as if he's got 150, and Sugetsu's got one with the Sheriff. Damage has been done. It's not an easy round to convert, but this is one of the best chances they've had.
Wow, a little bit depressing, if we're being honest. Durka, though, still alive. And with this many players tagged up, it's like a kid in a candy shop, but I'll be interested to see if he actually goes through it as well. He will now. Has every single piece of information the team could ever need. 3 players already spotted. In fact, I wonder what he's going to try and attempt here. Just playing in front of that screen already. You can see the Viper util, but Angel does manage to win the fight. It's another incredibly low player.
Yeah, that's it. Sugetsu and Angel, a sliver of health. Sugetsu's quickly dealt with, so is Angel. A headshot, in fact. It's all down to Shao's Sheriff. 5 kills on the board, 3 more to tally up. And the time, you can see how slow Fnatic are approaching this. They're waiting for the Toxins to come back up just to lock him out entirely. Still a grav well to work with, and that's going to buy him a bit of time, but they've gotten it halfway already. And the Toxins go down, but every shot needs to land. There's the first. Can buy himself another battle, another duel, and that's where it ends. Fnatic 7-2 in the lead. This is their map pick, and it looks like it. They're dominating.
Yeah, I think every single team that is currently within the Alpha group is going, wait, so second place plays third place, right? Is seeing Durka play like this, and currently has their cheeks as clenched as they've ever been. It has been a world-class performance, and then there's the fact that Leo's also 10-2, having an absolute field day. Still waiting to see some sort of response. The Artis Angel combination definitely hasn't been too fruitful just yet. But they are going to have themselves a buy on the board once more, still having that Hunter's Fury. More importantly, though, Durka's just gone walking down mid.
This is a bit more of a conventional spot. Chronicle almost serving as a bait. Trying to spot them out on the aggression, nothing there. Until there is. Xiao, very late in the round, peeking out, clearing every pixel bit by bit. He suspected the push. He's got himself one for it. Second gate crash used up by Durka, no more to fall back on. This will be for the B site, suspecting a late play there. You can already see rotations from Leo as well. And the read is perfect from Fnatic. I don't know what they've seen on A. If steps were heard by Durka's spot. Now he has to give that up, you'd imagine.
Will eventually fall back. Second man advantage gathered up, and almost a good flash in the end. It's going to have to be Durka going absolutely huge from the backline. He's going to drop the spike. There's still so many players here. Rotation eventually comes through, but he's now going to be stunned up, and nobody able to really capitalize off it. NAVI definitely have the information of where these players currently are, but you never know with Durka what he's going to be able to achieve. They've just gone swinging around the outside, though. They still know that he's here. It is Angel. A double to convert another round for NAVI. Finally, they break back onto the board.
It's been a while, but yeah, they've got a round under their belt on the side of NAVI, and with the pistol under their belt too, look, it can end up being an okay scoreline for them. The 7-5 possible, but they've got to string together these rounds. They come in, Dimensional Drift and Hunter's Fury to work with, and a clear direction off rip. That Yoru ult is going to be used to break presence on B to get through to the site, maybe even trying to target Alphier and take out his utility. And you can't really do it with a KO knife when you don't have a KO, so instead try to do it with the rifles in play. Angel spotting out a lot of info. He has a site clear. He has got Spike in his hands. I don't know if that's going to play into it, make him a bit more cautious. Apparently not. Alpha drop, traps down, and plant secured.
Yeah, another one for Ardis as well. Seems like they're starting to wake up a little bit.
Spike planted.
Leo's still here, Durka now with an operator, probably not the ideal gun for this sort of scenario, and they know exactly where he is. I thought for a second he was going to win that, but Xiao's a safe pair of hands. A 2 versus 5. Opportunity still, with Leo hitting shots like this, you can never really doubt when he's in this level of form, but clearing these players out is not going to be easy. There's not really a reason for them to overpeak. There's Sugetsu still in middle as well. A late lurk, same as the prior round. Just try and make sure there's no escape and no chance of them getting any level of a defusal. And while eventually they'll swing in, and it's going to be the easy double kill coming out for NAVI.
Yeah, fantastic use of their ultimates in this round. You could see from before the barriers even went up, they had an idea, and this idea couldn't have worked any better. As soon as they take down Alpha here, that B site is taken, and it all relied on them finding value on the side of Fnatic, going for flanks, flanking with an operator. It's not the ideal weapon for it. I think he was somewhat lucky the cam wasn't spotting him, but it didn't matter. Xiao's still able to connect that shot, and then you're all retaken from the same angle. Not really going to work out. Especially in a round where NAVI dumped those ults to get control. They still have all of their utility for those late fights. 7-4. One more round to play for. It was a dominant start from Fnatic. 7-2 up. But NAVI might be able to bridge that gap. 7-5 scoreline, not quite as devastating as it could have been. Aggression out of Durka, but it's not as much as we saw before with this wall. Although that might change the next time those toxins go up.
My camera is destroyed.
Well, Durka again, looking for a little bit of aggression.
I have the spike.
Of course, for NAVI in this matchup, losing 2-0, I believe actually qualifies Heretics and puts them up against Gentlemates in the standings. Needing a 2-0 of their own. Definitely keeps things interesting, but I'm sure they won't want to do that. He's actually TP'd in! I didn't think for a second he was going to stick that one, but Alpha's just been destroyed.
Yeah, and the flash was absolutely perfect. Alpha couldn't see a thing. Boasters dropped as well. And this site wide open. We said how hard it is to hold on to control once Alpha falls. And with no Viper screen in play on this B site, there's next to no holding on. Op shot from Artis seems to be sealing the fate of Fnatic at a 7-5 scoreline. Durka also going to be dropped, and Leo doesn't stand a chance following that. 7-5 we go. NAVI, they've really recovered this half nicely.
Yeah. No, a very good resurgence from them. This was looking like they were about to be absolutely blitzed. But I think Ardis starting to step up a little bit, moves himself up to the top of the board on his team. And also just some of these set plays. Like, it is just the riskiest of gameplay coming out from Angel. At all opportunities, he is very happy to go down if it gives his team the space. And I think that's exactly what it did for them here. It's going to be interesting, though, because now they go onto the defensive side, and historically that's where we've always talked about this double duelist being problematic. But normally you have these site anchors. You have on that Cypher, on that Viper, to delay, to slow. Now you can do similar things, I would say, with Xiao, being able to slow pushes, have a little bit more utility in that respect. But I want to see if they've got any plans, any aggressive plans. And well, fighting into Tube might just be one of them.
I must wait a moment.
Part of their early half plan on the defense. Makes sense that the offense is going to be much the same. Some decent tags as well with the wall bangs coming through. Zipan and Ardis have taken a lot of damage. Ardis a little bit more now with that shot connected from Alphier. Fnatic will set their sights on A. Wall goes down. You can see how much easier it is to push into this site for the Fnatic squad. At least taking the control towards the site itself, planting for main as well. Although Xiao seems to be swinging wide around the side. Looked like he had a chance for a moment, but well, I guess they pushed him back with the util.
Zipan's lost the battle as well, putting this heavily in the advantage of Fnatic. Although Sugetsu at least gets one. I don't know if there's going to be too much more. Xiao still survived for an unbelievable amount of time, but eventually Alphier is there as he will put his fourth onto the board, and Fnatic extend their lead a little further.
Oh, attacking side, pistol secured. And the follow-up should be that little bit easier. Alpha feeling activated in this round too. My goodness. Finding 4 kills early on. You probably wish it was anyone else on the team farming those orbs. But, well, 2 away from the neural theft, Tom.
Hey, they're winning the rounds. I don't think they're going to care too much.
That's true. Hold fire, Alpha. Let me get it. Yeah, maybe you're not making that call.
Ardis at least is going to have a Marshal. We talk about the days of old. This man was the original in terms of that aggressive run it down gameplay. And he started it off on the Jet. Wasn't a part of the Angel team at that point.
Here.
Played for a little team called Fish 123. We'll see if he can get anything in this round, because the rest don't really have too much. You've got Sheriff in the hands of Angel, who's already taken quite a lot of control. He's by the dropout of Tube, but again, it's sort of how much would he even be able to get from this position, especially with Fnatic being so patient. That's a nice shot, though, and that's Boaster out. A lot of the time, I think he may have even been holding on to some of the utility to try and get them in. Angel, though, on the re-swing is going to get nothing.
It was a little ambitious.
It has to be.
In a round where everyone's got rifles to work with. On the other side, not on your side. Ardis has picked up a second now on middle, and I'm not too sure how he got that one, if I'm being honest. We'll get that one in a replay later for sure. Guys magnetized to heads, but so is Alpha by the looks of things. Clean, but he's tagged down to 31. Another well-placed shot coming out of Ardis. And with 14 seconds left, they've got to be speedy, making their way into this site, but Ardis doesn't know where Alpha had gone. Element of surprise, catching another kill for Alpha and leaving Sugetsu all by his lonesome, Sheriff in hand, and not a lot of hope. I think going down to the spike might be the end game.
Yeah, I think he was originally trying to find some sort of weaponry, pushing all the way down the bottom of mid, but didn't really see anything in the end. And now you can see the players on Fnatic are just not really giving him a fight, clearing their flank, making sure that he hasn't been able to get in behind them. And now everybody trained in, trying to spot this man out. For Durka, obviously normally you'd want to try and throw him over or throw his gun over to a pistol player, but they are not surviving at this stage. He was hoping for an orb as he's only a couple away from having that dimensional drift. But for Sugetsu, as you said, it's just going to be going down to the spike. A 4-round gap now created. And if NAVI don't have a response here, we might be quickly moving our way towards Ascent.
That was very nearly a phenomenal round coming out of NAVI, in no small part due to this. The amount of time that Chronicle had to react to that play, that player miles away from him, and then half obscured by a wall. I'm not sure I can fault him for not connecting that on time. And that as well, a little jump scare for him. Well, Alpha's been doing incredibly well in this half. Fnatic 9-5. We had the question on the desk earlier with Shadow. Does an IGL need to frag? Well, Fnatic are 4 rounds ahead. Both just got 1 kill. Think that might seal it. Shadow was right.
He's also helping himself out a little bit with that comment, but let's ignore that.
I don't know what you mean, Tom. I don't know why he wouldn't say it was the truth. He had a great map earlier on as well. I think Magnum would agree. But 9-5, looking for double digits.
Shadow would as well, just because of the last week. Either way, it's a little bit of aggression for the defense, but they haven't really been able to find too much. It's so patient from the side of Fnatic. They are waiting for somebody to aggress, someone to make a mistake. And in the meantime, slowly garnering up map control. I think their true presence thus far has been a problem. You can only see Xiao trying to adapt to this.
There's definitely a snake bite there. Canceling out any chance of utility out of Zip and Recon going through. And the pressure's on. Doors opening back up. Players on site having so many angles to consider, but Fnatic with 30 seconds left on the clock, they've pumped the brakes yet again. And from the perspective of the other squad, it's got to be frustrating. You go out to check if they're still here, if there's any players around, you lose your life. Xiao just had that happen. Although Chronicle taken down, seemed to equalize things a little bit. 12 seconds left. Spike goes in for the plant. They finally dealt with Zipban, but Artis is still here. No angle to deny, and the 24 HP very nearly loses his life. You want to see him wait for Sagetsu. He's on his way around to main. That off angle could help them out. In fact, Sagetsu had the chance, but Durka ripped his head clean off. And now he's looking for another target, finding it with great success. Double digits for Fnatic and double the scoreline of their opponents.
Yeah, it's one of those rounds where NAVI had the right read. They had 4 players within the site, but then just the battles, you could see that, I think it was only really Artis winning any of them, and he was on 24 HP when he took his first kill. To have a stack up like that and get barely anything for it. And again, we're seeing Durka just farm 21 and 10 right now on the board. And Uckus is watching and they want to give him a panic attack every single day, you know? He makes them film content, so they create content from him panicking.
It makes sense.
I did the same.
Relationship. Yeah. Knife up and over. And as I said, a big factor of a lot of these attacking sides when it comes to Breeze. I think I didn't even say attacking side, I said plays in general, but specifically on the attack, the value of having agents like Viper and KO, to me, it's tenfold what we're seeing on the other side. Not to say that Navi's comp, I think, as I said the other day, Vlad made a great point that not every comp works for everyone. It's not a one-glove-fits-all kind of scenario. You have to find what works for you. For Navi,
I don't think this one works for anyone.
Yeah, right? But hey, if Angels picked it up, there's got to be a reason. Not a great start with the pistols. Double shut down on elbow. They found the information. It is a B hit, but there's not much they can do to react to that. All pressure on Artis. And, well, he is eliminated before he even gets a chance.
Yeah, he had a 50-50 chance of looking towards the fake out, and he guessed wrong. Zipan now just hoping for anything, and oh no, okay. Leo is a merciful man, because there was no bullets left in that gun. He would have got knifed.
I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 5 shots or 6? Well, I don't really care. He was getting knifed if it wasn't for that swing. Looky. His reputation is saved. In the Andalucia flawless, though. It's a bit of a statement from Fnatic. There'll be no mistakes on their side up against these pistols. And with the rifles in hand, NAVI have one last chance to stop Fnatic from running away with this. It's already pretty far gone.
Yeah, and their rounds, when they have been winning, have been so clean. Like, every single time. They've been building up a pretty ludicrous amount of credits to think that they won't close out just a couple of rounds seems unlikely. This is why there was save credits. Artis, oh, he's not going to get out of there. It's a one and done. Okay, Durka has been getting probably about 40% of all of Fnatic's kills, so maybe it's technically taken down a couple of players. But I don't know if they're going to see it that way.
Say the same for Artis, though. He's been doing a lot of the heavy lifting on NAVI. Now he's down and out, so equal trades. Well, that seems to put Fnatic a step ahead from what we've seen so far. And it being the attack side, this map now thins out. It's the same size, but the numbers you've got to defend it, not quite there. That's a free kill onto Sugetsu, from Sugetsu, pardon me, onto Boaster. Just a swing out on mid, catches the Viper, I guess setting up a lineup, or just holding the angle for his team, but, well, you can see him clearly behind that box.
Look how far Alpha's managed to get. They're wary that he's still in tube because he's been there every single round. He's just managed to walk out onto the side without anybody even noticing. And then it's a little bit of a bait from his teammate just to give him the freebie of a kill. Nice shot from Zipan, at least, and a second one added to the death toll. It leaves Leo a clutch scenario. 15 and 6 so far. He needs 3, and he's not even going to get the first. His opposing Swede will take him out, and finally, NAVI have their first defense round.
Is it too little, too late?
Probably.
11-6. Massive margin to get back into it. Dash wasn't even online there, wasn't activated. So Artis couldn't use it to get out. Nice attempt with the updraft, but not quite enough. Zipan, beautiful little shots out of him. Those first two, we didn't see this from his POV, but just as nice. The gap is large. The NAVI will look to fight their way back through, and, well, for a moment I thought we were going to have a pause coming in, but no. It looks like they're going to buckle down and do it. Operator in hand, Blade Storm to work with, Hunter's Fury as well. A ton for NAVI in their back pocket. But it's not like Fnatic don't have some ultimates of their own, and, well, pushing into a site with a KO. When the knife hits can be good. With the ultimate in the back pocket, it can be free.
Again, last round, the biggest threat was taken out almost immediately. See if they'll be able to deal with Durka again. You can see already that aggressive position, the exact spot that Artis got a kill from last round has already been cleared with the drones, so Fnatic are trying to react to him, and I can understand why, with how he's been playing. Alpha, he's straight back there again. I said, in tube, he's been a menace. They've been watching for him all the time. This time, he heads in with an operator, and immediately after this, Fnatic look to just execute. Move straight through almost immediately. Durka is trying to clear these angles, but he hasn't actually managed to spot anybody within this site. It's only going to be Xiao here, just trying to catch someone off guard, and while Angel is going to go down in the end.
Xiao's in a nice spot to follow up on as they attempt to push the Hunter's Fury. Durka getting a little ahead of himself, has given 1 kill back, but it's still a 2 versus 4. The advantage clearly in favor of Fnatic. The only downside is not having planted that spike just yet. But even as these NAVI players move towards the site to attempt to deny it or to defuse it later, Boaster has an off angle.
Alpha just ran up.
Alpha just runs. You know, sometimes you got to take the fights. Can't hide away.
I would love, I don't know if he would have said anything, but I just like the idea. What are you guys waiting around for? Yeah. Just go straight in again. just get that kill like
pulls up
nothing.
to the site, swinging like a duelist. Well, he has every right to. 16 and 8. The guy's KD's off the charts. He's feeling it with the opera. Oh, yeah, that's a little unfortunate for Angel.
Guys, what are you aiming for? He's there. You knew he was there, didn't you? 12 and 6. A blip on the radar, it seems, as NAVI once again are coming in with a weaker purchase. Bladestone will pad the gap at least a little bit. It seems like Artis wants to try and take this round into his own hands. We saw this with the Marshall a few rounds ago, that when he's given the opportunity to be aggressive, he definitely can cause teams issues, but for the most part, Fnatic have had all of that and more.
A very slow approach from Fnatic. 1 pick and they can pop that neural theft, find out where their opponents are, make a decision on the fly. Always a problem with someone like a Yoru around. That flash perfect.
Nice.
And the updraft from Artis connects the kill. If not, it would have been Angel trading it out anyways. Now they reset for the A side control, but Durka's taken some of his own. Decoy on its way out. Good tag and good follow-up. Zipan thought he had a fight on his hands, but the decoy kept him in position long enough for the ult to work out. Only Sugetsu left to make this one work, and the neural theft got the assist at least. 13-6 on map number 1. Breeze was Fnatic's pick, and they played it like
home turf there of NAVI. They've beaten the Turkish teams. They've beaten pretty much everyone that's placed in front of them when it comes to Ascent. But they need to win this one. Otherwise, again, we say it, their life is out of their hands.
A lot of pressure on that squad, but NAVI not a team to feel it. They will feel that shock dart, though. A lot of damage done, and a few spams, too. But it's Durka who's the first to fall. Fnatic lose control over market, over mid, and they lose Boaster as well. That's a big pick that sends the attackers back in the other direction. With the rotates already even coming into B, looks like the A side is wide open for business, and they leave a lurk late in from Artis. Nice shots connected. 3 already before he's put down. And I'm not too sure about Leo's chances. No shocks left. Damage has been done, Tom. A couple of these players are low. This would be a crazy clutch and an ace to start out the map if he's to win it.
If he had a shock dart, I'm giving him like 40% odds.
With that HP, yeah, for sure.
Just because he always seems to land one. Unfortunately, this I'm going to have to lower it to about 5%. Like, it's still Leo. He can still pull off miracles, but you can see where Navi are playing. They've had their silly, goofy map. They've had the one that they lose at the beginning of the day, and then things always seem to change from this point onwards. The one-way even play start. This is how carefully they're taking this one. And Navi are going to get themselves that opening round. Now, I like the concept. There's something I've always liked sort of doing myself, is talking about a player to highlight when it comes to this map. And I think for Navi, although I agree Artis is a great shout, I always love watching Zipan. I think this is his map. I think whether he played even Sage on it in the past, he always just seemed to thrive on an individual basis. And I think it's always nice then to just do the opposite on the other side, which is Chronicle. I think it's going to be a battle of those KOs. To see who's actually going to be able to take this one over the line.
Well, Angel's been pumping the iron. I think he caught Xiao with a high five that Xiao wasn't ready for the power behind it. There's his keyboard hand,
if he just whiffs all of it.
No, it was his keyboard. It was his keyboard hand. All good. That's why you have Angel sit on the left of you.
So he's going to have bad movement for the rest of the game.
That's it. You see him walk backwards into a wall, we know what happened. We know who's to blame. This round should be an easy enough one. Fnatic just coming in with a couple of pistols, a Sheriff and a Ghost upgraded too. The rest on Classics, already damage done to Alpha. A lot of space denied, they won't be able to fight on range. B site left wide open, and it's a pretty big gamble from the defensive side. But in a round like that, it will be an A hit, right? Because they've got so many players there. In a round like this, it's where you take those gambles. As we can see, they've not chosen correctly. Navi avoiding all of that Fnatic defense and even taking down Alpha through the smoke. So this one's going to be a tough retake, to say the least.
Yeah, I always like the way that Navi play their Anticos as well. Like, having the 3 rifles just feels safer. And then they can have those risks at the beginning. So the risk there was Artis takes an initial fight, doesn't win it, throws the gun away now, and he's going to try and basically just earn himself up an orb or 2. He's probably getting 1. Maybe not in the way that he would have hoped. They've also left the late lurk of Sugetsu, and well, eventually Boaster will be there to at least clear out 1 player. Although again, unfortunately, it's going towards from the shadows, which may not be the ult they wanted to build up.
Already able to match his performance on the previous map, Tom.
That was unnecessary.
It's only uphill from here. Positive mental state. I mean, look, you have a map like that and 13-6 it. I think that very much speaks to the point we had earlier. Perfectly timed as well. You know, in the segment before, do IGLs need to frag? Boaster, 1 kill, 13-6. Yeah, fair enough. And the question answered right off rip.
That G2 jersey.
It is.
A few years too late.
There were lands back in the old days, you'd be eating good, but well,
maybe an Artis fan, you know.
Although they used to be back in the 2021 days, we used to have the kind of what from home crowd. People could dial in, put their cams up and stuff. It was pretty cool. Those were good days. No, they weren't. Better days now. Got everyone in house.
Either way, this is where Fnatic look to try and make a bit more of a response. An aggressive stance already with Durka taking deep control on A. And actually Alpha almost looking to brawl into B. Again, this is the value of that Killjoy, is just being able to leave that alarm bot. Is something you're going to regularly see Navi just sending somebody down to break or just set off, I guess. That works too. And now they're going quickly, very quickly indeed. In fact, Alpha's almost having to sprint his way back because of how quick they're moving into this site.
This player's on site pretty isolated. Alpha's util taken out. They can see it all and they can deal with it nicely. And Alpha's dropped. They weren't ready for Leo. Luckily, they'll drop him right afterwards. The trade's quick and clean from the side of NAVI. Double swings, triple swings even out on the laneway. And Artist was sent out to find space elsewhere. He's caught on the stairs with a spam through the wall, and that does give Fnatic a decent chance to fight their way back through. That's not only a big player taken down in terms of heavy hitting, but it also leaves Sugetsu isolated. Now, they don't have a lot to clear him out of this position. A knife back online in 5 seconds, and I actually think that's what Chronicle just tried to activate. I'll have it online now to clear main. I presume it's where he was looking just moments ago, but this time it's decided to use a little bit more shallow. So Sugetsu strikes and finds one. They have to clear both players on site, then get towards Sugetsu. They've done that nicely. Durka getting on the defuse now, needs to get it to half, and the jump peak's enough to pull him off the full stick. That's gonna be it. Time already gone. Even with Durka's kill, he will not get out of here with his life. Yeah, caught by the spike just about right on the edge.
Yeah, a good round in the end from NAVI, and again, it's a bonus, but it's about as good a bonus as you're ever going to get, buying up those extra rifles off the pistols that they had in the last round. Again, this is always the thing I love about watching this team is we think about NAVI, we think about slow, methodical gameplay until it's the opposite. And that's exactly what they did in this round. A quick takedown mid. You could even see, like, if you watch where Alpha is, he is almost peeking main and just has to sprint away from all of the utility. Not possible to get into the normal sort of crossfires. And then you're relying on, okay, is Leo going to get 2? Are they going to be able to get a multi-frag? But this round, again, definitely some vulnerabilities, and it is direct once more. But they may question going for this. Especially now they got the kill onto Durka already. The counter utility's been expended. You can see immediately now they go, okay, we're not going to go running into this. That's one of the only ways we could lose this round.
Yeah, I mean, you're down to 1 flash on Zipban. Paranoia is already gone as well. In terms of entering in, you're going all in. And you'd have to wait until the effects of the knife had already faded. There was no need to take that kind of a risk. And as we said, Navi's anti-ecos tend to be pretty solid on them. Second round, coming in with rifles, giving their economy a huge boost that we can see the effects of. And if they can find this round relatively flawless, it's going to be hard to put them down to a weaker round for quite a while. Great start to this map and to this round, especially 2 kills already going their way. Possibility for more. They should have suspected Leo to be somewhere here, but the smoke, they thought it was safe. Proves not to be, and Alpha's picked up 2 with the classic in mid. This round is somehow competitive again.
Yeah, that's not the gun he's looking for. That is. Got the rifle in his hands. Found the kill onto Angel as well. Now into the 1 versus 1. It took Artist to finish him off at the end. This round should have been clean. It should have been easy for NAVI. With just that little spark, that little bit of magic from Alpha here. For a second, we believed.
Well, absolutely. It was possible. And if anything, mission accomplished. You don't want this to be the moneymaker round for NAVI. The great start to the half, 4-0 up with the ability to lose 2 rounds and still keep on buying with ultis coming online. And it certainly wasn't that round. The whole thanks to Al. It was up until this man got involved. Up until he was left alone against...
This dude reacts like that. I love it. Anyone else would be stressed.
Oh, yeah.
And it just cuts to Angel just laughing.
Vibing out.
Oh, my God.
And positivity, positive mindset. There's a lot to be said for it. 4-0 up. As we can see, yeah, that economy hasn't gotten out of control on NAVI. There's only 1 player who's feeling stacked for cash.
I like the change, though. After the quick barrels down mid and that alarm bot being destroyed at the beginning seconds of every round, this time they double up. A 2-man hold. In fact, it looks like it may not even be a hold, as there was temptation to go for a little bit of a push. But it's definitely something that's an attempt to try and force back these players. I'm looking at the ults, though. That Hunter's Fury, so good to get them an opening into one of these sites, or at least force people into more awkward positions. And just the sheer pace at which NAVI execute once they have that information can be difficult to hold against. So Fnatic definitely have to be a little bit more careful. Getting down to the 40-second mark, though, as they now look to rotate back towards this A site, and Fnatic have got this spot on.
Spike retrieved.
Well, they did.
Yeah, looks like they're second guessing themselves.
30 seconds left.
I guess that knife didn't catch anybody. As we see that rotation continue. Durka's not going to be here to deal with it. Chronicle, flash in hand. Here comes the swing, but it's too late. Artist has already picked up 1 and very nearly another. 13 health on Chronicle as he barely makes it out alive, and shock darts flying through the air send him scurrying. They've done damage back to Artist in the same way. The advantage sits with NAVI, post-plant Hunter's Fury to work with as well. They can run that clock down. You already see Angel move back towards main for that very purpose. Durka dropped on the way back through, and with low HP on Chronicle, that word save is floating around. Looks like it's been settled on. They'll be carrying these through to the next round, at least trying Alpha. Oh, he's gotten so lucky to hear Angel before Angel saw him. He'll get out with his rifle, and it looks like the entirety of Fnatic will as well.
Yeah, it's one of those rounds where they are a split second away from getting that bang on. Like, they had 3 players on that side of the map, a 4th even starting to rotate over, and then I think it was even just slightly before the knife, maybe knowing they'd get the information, they started rotating a player back just in case, and when that caught absolutely nothing, that was where you can understand the reasoning behind falling back that little bit more. I don't like that sign.
Which sign, Tom?
The hair one.
That's a competition I feel like you've not really entered.
It's worse that you lost, though.
It is a little bit. I mean, to wingman, that's okay.
If it pauses it, L Mini.
L Mini. A mini putty? No.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Leave that one on the drawing board. Well, it's good to see the mini man back in that seat, or in the seat opposite. See if the results are the same as they have been before for Fnatic. 5-0 down, they need him more now than ever. They're on ascent. NAVI have looked incredibly good, and now they use an ult to entry into sight, but pretty passive play coming out the side of Alfier. He was way back on mid, avoids his utility being taken out on that initial burst, manages to delay them a couple of seconds and leave Fnatic in an okay position for retakes.
This is the thing, though, with NAVI. They're just so direct in their takes that you take a pause to maybe try and adapt to what they were doing in the past, and they just run it down through B main. They now have a Hunter's Fury, and you might be thinking, well, okay, but he's within the site. But it's such narrow avenues to try and get back in that would be such a disruptive ult if he decides to use it. But the fact is, Fnatic are the ones having to try and find a way in. That's not the start they were looking for. Durka already gone. They're spotting all the players out in front of them. They've done quite a lot of damage with the spams, but they need some sort of kill, and Sugetsu is still going to be causing them issues from behind. Finally, Alpha comes alive, picks up one, a second as well, a clean couple of kills, but look at the time. Already ticking so low. Alpha is trying to do it all on his own. He's going to try and stick this one. I don't even know if his teammates are sticking around. They've fallen back. They've left him on his own, and eventually, it's going to be the round over the line anyway. Alpha tried his best, but it meant nothing.
It came close. Hell of a run at 3 kills and almost sticking the defuse. You got to feel let down that that player is able to reside in Boathouse and still find that value, but they had already killed players on site and one towards the back. Just the assumption that they would be elsewhere from his teammates, and unfortunately that was the wrong call. Defuse not secured, round for NAVI, and like you said, Tom, you call that pause, you try to make your adjustments, but NAVI come in with a change of their own. Instead, moving quickly towards the site, and now they'll default back out to map control, now that they've had that disruptive round.
That is the thing. That is a classic Angel move, which is just, oh, you've taken a pause, we're going to rush B. Like, you wouldn't have planned for that.
One suppressed.
And if you try and mind game Angel, you're going to be in for a bad time. It never goes well. Aggressive spot. Zipper in an awkward position. They've at least been able to isolate that jaw. Better start, but there's a reaction almost immediately. Looking to try and run straight back in through short. They've taken that control, but they are surrounded.
Take flight.
But trying to fight their way back towards the site, realizing that space hasn't been fully taken yet. Updraft used by Artis. He's going to have a tough time making it out, but the smoke just about covered his retreat.
Drop.
Now they get to reset for another attempt at the round. Good damage done. It's the wallbang from Alpha to find it, playing underneath the turret. That's a nasty setup, and he's got the value for it. 3 kills with Spike dropped in market, and well, they might not know where Sugetsu is, but they don't much care. They can just sit down, hold this Spike, and win the round on the time. Sugetsu's job to find all 5 members of Fnatic. It looks like there's no denying that round on the board. 6-1 with an Andalucia flawless.
What a way to return to the scoreboard for Fnatic. Doing it clean, building up some cash. And actually, with how close some of these rounds have been, with only 1 player actually surviving, it means that the finances are not perfect for NAVI. You're going to have Artis, okay, it's a Bucky, but it's also a Blade Storm. But the thing that worries me is that so far, it's only really been Alpha. Like, there hasn't been much more on the board thus far for the side of Fnatic. Durka's not having quite the performance he did, although I don't know if expectations can be there.
Get out of my way.
And again, an immediate battle for space, battle for the orb. I assume Zippad's going to be taking it, because the rest definitely don't need it.
Which Which team's going to be the first to pop some of those valuable ultis? Lockdown for Alpha as well, thanks to his flawless rounds. Leave them in a position to play retake if they so wish, but the A site might be given up slightly, given up easily if it's pressured. Short won't be. Playing very aggressive. Flash goes through. Artis is caught. Poster pulling the smoke out. He's deleted. Hunter's Fury used, and it's catching 2 tags. No kill. No follow-up on the back of it, and that damage has to be followed by someone. 50 HP, and those shocks are landing 20, and it's time to leave for Chronicle.
Oh, it seems like they might be looking to even try and battle, to try and deny anything more. Obviously, the plan for Fnatic is to try and get that lockdown into position, but with Artis still here, he's just going to try and stop this. In fact, he has a little bit of help from Angel, so he can hold the ground. Nice one from Durka, though. He's got in on the flank. Made this one competitive, brought it back to an even stance, but not for long. Artis may be low, but he's still fighting. The battle of the Jets with Sugetsu still lurking, but Artis lands another shot. It's left all onto the Finn. He's been quiet so far. The first goes his way through, and he hits it with the classic. The time's going to be close, but I think he's got it anyway. Not going to be a problem, and he's back on the board again.
That's a less than conventional way to put a second round on the board and ace off a classic in the end. Let's get a replay of this. The first goes Artis' way. They pick up sight. They move in for the plant, and this lockdown, it seems like it could be a big problem, but Angel's dealing with it. Gets dropped by this man. Unbelievable adjustment by Artis later on, but they thought he might have been defusing. They have to go through to spot it, and that gives him the opportunity, but how he converts it, I will never know.
Durka go kill is back. We're waiting to see Zipan go kill. But even still, a 6-2 lead. A couple of hero plays have put the economy of Na'Vi in the dirt. A lot of ultimates used by either side in that round to try and pad the gap. And while Artis is just fragging at the moment, they're happy to give him this hero rifle to try and do everything on his own. Paranoia is good, will at least force them back for the moment, but they're going to try and execute off this boaster under pressure. He's been spotted and he's just not hitting today, and Durka can't save them this time.
Well, we spoke about the money-making rounds for Navi, how they wouldn't be on a low buy for quite a while. Well, that was achieved at least, but Artis is here in force for the thrifty win. Even with the weaker weapons, they'll make it work. This attack side has got its groove back. And Artis 14-6 right now. Last couple rounds, he's been nearly unstoppable.
You know what? I'll hold my hands up. Ash, I think you might have been right. He's 14-6. Like, the thing is, if anyone else did anything in the last round, they would have won it. Because he was killing people on 7 HP. It came down to an ace. I almost wonder if that was his call to have the hero rifle. Just go, guys, I'm winning this round. And that's the thing, Artis is the sort of person that will do that. So is Durka. He's just run straight into mid with a Blade Storm. They don't have much to play with. Oh dear, that's not gone to plan.
No, and now the crunch coming in on mid. Boaster tries to make it away. A little bit of cover from Chronicle, and the Guardian actually does a ton of damage. Of course he does. 2 rounds where he absolutely popped off. Got it off those alone. And he certainly would have it now with another kill on the board. Alpha's aggression spotted. They're more than aware of it. And for Na'Vi, there were no gaps in this attacking side. Even a push-up on A, the one avenue that wasn't attempted with a minute left on the clock, is still being watched by Xiao. Seeing it from above the wall. And that's the beauty of it, Tom. It's been 20 seconds since we've last seen any sign of Fnatic, and Na'Vi are still sat in that default, waiting for another mistake to be made, expecting it.
The other thing as well, Xiao can play so passive because he has his From the Shadows available. So if they were to find a kill that opens up one side of the map, he could just TP straight in, not any risk about it. And what you could see with this pressure now coming in onto Leo, there is no help. Chronicle is as far away as humanly possible. This would have to be the play of the century. And it's not going to be anything. Zipan opens onto the site. And I think we're just going to have the long wait now of Chronicle trying to save that gun.
10 seconds
Back in the good old days, man like Chihuahua would have won that clutch.
We wouldn't have seen it, though.
Yeah, we wouldn't have seen that clutch. We didn't see this one. For Chronicle, 1v5. Other side of the map. Time
He's
against
not
him,
moving.
numbers against him, weapons against him. Yeah, I think he's made the right call to sit tight and run this clock down. For Fnatic, well, NAVI went down by quite a bit on the previous map, but there was a little bit of a resurgence towards the end of the half. They got to 5 rounds. It was a 7-5. Nothing but domination in that half afterwards for Fnatic. But seeing this defensive side pick up the rest of these rounds, will still only be 4, and it's not looking great, Tom. A lot of credits invested in this round, and the result is the same. NAVI able to absolutely dominate them. This is where they get everything on the line, though.
Yeah, it's a round where obviously you're trying something a little bit aggressive, but it's so well prepared by Navi. They were just waiting for everything. Already we're going to see another pause. Both pauses already thrown out by the side of Fnatic.
That's how they're going to close this one out 10-2. A big lead, one that's tough to lose, but they still have to get there. Fnatic, the ultis aren't fantastic. They've got a null command, but then again, Zipan has his own to fight right back, and then they've got a little more to work with. Artis' Blade Storm, when he's on this kind of form, it will be terrifying.
Again, back to this slow, tempered approach. Chronicle has his ult available. It might be something to avoid, but the same is there on the other side. And we saw this last time out with the B push. Very direct when they had this ult available. Just removes all the utility. I don't think they've checked for Alpha, so that's at least something. That's already Artis going to be gone with the immediate trade. Leo, I don't know if he'll be expected. I don't know if they'll clear both close corners. They have not, and that's actually just as the ult ended as well. Trade's working out perfectly for Fnatic, and this little trap play has got them their 3rd round.
Yeah, it couldn't have worked any better. Defensive side set up with 3 on the board, 1 more to be found. It won't disrupt Navi's economy, but, well, you see the adjustments on their way through. They try to fight for sight. They see Alpha drop a nade right at his feet. You know, it's a fantastic crossfire. That was the part that was unknown to me. Chronicle getting involved in the first fight, and it was just a straight spam through the smoke. Again, all those steps being heard, the eye being drawn by a teammate, easy peasy. Typically not with a Guardian to spam through, but he makes it work because he's Chronicle.
Well, and I think 4 definitely wouldn't be a death sentence, especially if they win the pistol. In the game they played versus Vitality, it was a 6-0. Attack side out from Fnatic, and that's a good start. Nice little pop flash to take out Artis the last couple of rounds. He's gone down early, but they tried to double down. They tried to go in with a second flash, and that's where they're punished.
One suppressed.
Durka drop, but like we've said before, you don't see that immediate response from Navi. Maybe if Artis was alive, he would be leading that charge, running it down, spreading out, taking the mid control. Cautious of any aggression up on A. I think Angel might even be using some of his reveal. There you go. Yeah, indeed. It's going to be the drone put through to clear this out. It will go across to Wine because there was a deep smoke earlier on. Now they know that control is safe and secure. So the push up on A can begin. No need to worry about these players on off angles. They've even spotted Leo, taken down Boaster easily. It seems to be the theme of this game with Zipan on another. The site is secured and a plant is found. Man advantage swinging heavily towards Navi. Still an ulti in back pocket for Shao. I'm not sure if it's going to get an opportunity to be used. Instead, he's just got his rifle out waiting for that overpeak out of Alpha, and he turns on a dime for Leo. 9 rounds on this attacking side for NAVI. There seems to be no stopping this squad on their map pick.
Yeah, this is a map that I almost feel like is getting to those old BBL days of just, you almost have to ban it. Unfortunately for Fnatic, that they haven't played Sunset, and it doesn't look like they're going in that direction at all. It's a nice initial set play, but again, I think it's just the oversell. I think they're so ready to try and just go for a little bit more, and that ends up being their demise. Also, Boaster really has been having a rough time. He's been isolated in every single individual duel he's taken, and okay, it may not have affected them in the last map, but I think it might be here.
Moving over to the attack side. There's not a lot of hope for Fnatic to swing back into this, but I'm very excited if we get all the way to Bind. When I heard the veto, I said it to Alpha. He said, boring maps. And I said, Bind's pretty good. He said, we're not going to get there. So I mean, the first 2, it's going to be a boring
So what you're
series.
saying is he might have been wrong.
I think we're going there. I think we might be
We'll
going
see.
there.
Maybe he's really confident in their attack. And you know what? he's definitely had his moments. I don't think they'd have 3 rounds on the board if it wasn't for Alpha. Well, 2 of them. One of them was definitely Durka's. Nonetheless, if there's going to be a comeback, this team can definitely do it. I'd say they need the pistol, but 11-3 is their speciality. Especially with Mini back in the booth. But, you know, I don't think they're going to want to try that versus NAVI.
You never know. Team's been underestimating their ability. Maybe NAVI will call the pause at 11-3.
I doubt it. I doubt it. 45 seconds left. Fnatic have been feeling out the map, looking for where this NAVI side is stacked up. It is the B site, and that's the opposite of where they're heading. Zipan does damage, but he doesn't manage to find an opening kill. Nice work from Alpha, as he could just split this team up. Goes back for a little bit more, but he's holding this, not allowing them to rotate. And well, all I'll say is good luck, Xiao. The last man on the site. They're going to go pushing towards him. That's the only saving grace. The time ticking off. He's managed to find a second kill, but he thinks they're going the other way. It's a little bit unlucky. You understand it after he finds those couple of kills, but if he has his gun out, I don't know. He might have won that.
Yeah, after seeing, I think it's particularly Alpha grabs those kills on market.
Yeah.
2 of them. And then couple seconds later, Leo comes running up. You're thinking, okay, why is Leo there as well? It's because they've started to rotate. They're on the way. But why were the players running on the side, right? You can't put 2 and 2 together that quickly in the moment. Little misread, and it ends up costing what would have been a sensational clutch and opening the door for Fnatic. Pistol round under their belt, and the follow-up put them right back on the board, 9-5. Looks a little bit more manageable, a bit more of a bite-sized problem than it was before. It's only a matter of time before we see something we didn't see for Fnatic, which is Artis's mid-control, Artis's aggression. Already, well, matter of time, I guess not. He's come in with the Marshall. I'm thinking about the later rounds, the Bladestorm, the Operator, but maybe this is what I should be worried about. You just saw the leg. He's ready for the peak. That dash is going to run out, though. And he's bailing, whether it's his choice or not.
Yeah, I thought for a second he might be able to correct, but Chronicle is a little bit quicker. I think that's the major danger gone from this round. I guess Xiao's Sheriff is the other. But again, it would have to be astonishing, especially with how safe Fnatic have actually bought here. They've gone in with 4 rifles. There's no real chance to lose any players here. It would be incredibly costly if they did. Well, Angel at the back of the site is going to be under some serious pressure. Durka takes a little bit of damage. Maybe there is a chance.
Yeah, nice smoke from Xiao. I like the idea. Reveals on Angel meant he was never to get anything done, but Xiao has picked up his one, even though he's on the low HP. Sadly, that's all they're going to find, and the Marshall traded out for the rifle in the end means negligible losses for the side of Fnatic. 9-5, rifles in hand, bit of economy in the back pocket as well. This is where the attack side kind of need this round. Otherwise, I imagine NAVI are just right back, hands on the reins.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, this is going to be a strong attempt at a bonus. There's no doubt about it. Good opportunity to really springboard this. It's not going to be the end of the world, but at the same time, you don't want to allow NAVI to get to 10 already this early on in the match. Just look at the way the artist is already playing. He's going walkabouts. He wants to fight straight away. He's been spotted, but it doesn't even matter. It's an immediate kill onto Durka, and actually Chronicle got tagged at the same time.
Oh, wow, yeah, he's down to 40 HP. A big blow. Off rip for NAVI. As I said, his mid-control, only a matter of time till we got to see it. That's a great shock dart, preemptive. I don't know where he got that precognitive skill from. Angel lining up perhaps a shock of his own. In fact, it's a reveal. It will see nothing but Chronicle down on 6 HP. He's thanking his lucky stars that wasn't a shock dart.
Yeah, the knife as well catching Alpha. It means there's not going to be any rotation. You've still got all of Sugetsu's utility as well, so there's not going to be any nasty surprises. You can already see Artist watching, waiting, and Boaster is just hoping for a timing, but you can expect Angel to have pushed back into the corner. It means they can almost start pulling the rotations away if they really want to. Not seeing anybody with 35 seconds left, you'd expect, if anything, this would be B, but they actually went back the other way.
Yeah, NAVI put their eggs in the wrong basket. Seems they're going to come falling out. Let's see if there's a bounce to it. Zipban, one at least found. Chronicle still being very, very low. Will struggle to even cross to the side if he waits much longer. 12 seconds as Sugetsu dances around, attempting to isolate, fights successfully doing so. And that's the spike dropped. Well,
Yeah, it's done.
we mentioned the spike crossing to the side. In fact, it crosses to the switch, and it will stay there. Alphayer left alone, and, well, it's a choice of Navi whether they want to punish him or not. Looks like the weapon will be carried forward, but the rounds now sit double for Navi.
Yeah, the rifle being killed off is no real importance for the side of Navi. Like, there's going to be a purchase on the board for Fnatic anyway, so it's not going to change too much. But yeah, the thing is, they did well to sort of pull rotations away, and then it just took them way too long to get anywhere near. I like the idea, though, from Zipan. So they throw down the util from Killjoy just to basically deny him. He just walks through it and takes a kill. And I don't think they were ready for him to just step into a nano swarm and take loads of damage. Now already, we see this aggression again. It's going to be something that is done regularly by Ardis. When he's this far up on the board, there's no surprises.
Caution here.
However, though, it's the swap up. You now have that Cypher on the other side of the map, and stack up actually more so towards middle than anywhere else.
I don't think that's going to have much consequence, not spotting Leo.
Oh,
That will have a consequence, though. I mean, they were even thinking about putting the drone through. Alpha says, hold on, wait 1 sec. Let me just see if he's still there. Takes his head clean off. Now they've got control towards the site, potentially just Ardis standing in his way. The dash was perfect right after the shot landed. Numbers equalized. Ardis back out looking for more. This guy doesn't know how to back down. Sugetsu not able to spray transfer. The ammo runs dry, and Fnatic with that pick, I thought they'd move towards the spawn. Instead, they look for Ardis. They find him, pick it up, and Zipan flashing a little bit early. Gives away the play, but still finds two. It's down to Xiao and Boaster. The Omen head-to-head. One of them's had a little bit of an easier series so far than the other, but this could be Boaster's chance to pull it all back in their favor.
My ultimate is ready.
it's been his awakening. This round, he's got a couple of kills, but he is up against Xiao, a full belt of utility. Ultimate available for Boaster if he wants to try and use it to try and reposition, get some info, but may not want to give anything away to Xiao.
Shadows traveling.
Smoke already thrown out. Paranoia could be utilized towards this backside, and Boaster is just homed in on that smoke, waiting for him to make some sort of sound, but that sound is not going to be heard. It has to be the instant shot, but he's not seen him! It's perfect for Boaster! A slight reposition, and Xiao is bamboozled.
Beautiful play from the IGL and Fnatic. Look at the posture of Xiao. I've never
He's
seen
lounging.
him
No,
so
he is always
relaxed.
lounging.
That is impressive. Even now, even in the 1v1, he doesn't sit up. He doesn't pull the chair in.
Nah.
All right, no worries. I got this. Not this time. Good paranoia, no follow-up. This is insane. The fact that they don't get hit by the flash, the fact there's a reactive paranoia, and he's ahead of it. And what a way to win out the round for Boaster. He's had a slow start. In fact, that 3K doubled his kills on this map so far.
Well, what a time to wake up. We know that Bind awaits if Navi closes us out, but Fnatic are not want to go there. We've already seen what Angel can do to players when he's on form. This round, though, a little bit more of a gamble. I say a little bit. Every single Navi player currently on one side of the map. You expect, though, with the weaker finances that Fnatic are going to do their due diligence. They'll take their time. Okay. Normally, Alpha's the one dishing out those sort of shots, not on the receiving end. And that actually cuts off one side of the map for them. You're already going to see Ardis go back to just jump spotting mid. But they are now making their way further towards that stack. If they push into this, it could be huge problems for Fnatic.
Well, not a big problem taking Zipan down, but yeah, the numbers what make this so terrifying. Drone on its way, running out, found one. It's not enough to send them in the other direction. They might think that's an isolated player. Dirk is finding out it's not. The dash reveals at least 3 here now. Fnatic realize they've ran into the stack, but there's nothing to do. They have to take these fights. They have to win them. And it's Leo with all the pressure on his shoulders. Great connection to close it out from Ardis. 11 rounds on the board. Navi do it again with the weaker weapons.
Yeah, they're just able to sell the ruse that there was no one there. Pretty much every player, I think, bar Xiao dodging the drone. You can understand Durka's response. Okay, I clear this man out, I win. And instead he dashes right into Angel.
Night-night.
He gets a free kill. Again, it just, Ardis not missing shots. He hasn't been this whole map. 21 and 11. It has been a display of the duelists throughout these series so far. Well, 11 to 6. Weaponry, it's as bad as it gets. Durka, he had an ace earlier to get them one of their first rounds on the board. They might need it again.
It's gorgeous as well, the fact that Xiao was the one spotted by that drone. Of course, you're expecting Xiao to be the guy that's left behind on A, so everything was adding up.
He's got paranoia, he's got smokes,
exactly,
he's
right.
got all the delay.
Smokes, all this sort of stuff they'd already killed out. One on the other side, nicely done by Durka to find one, and the damage makes it an easy trade. Weapon retreat for Leo, but he's gone into his drone at the wrong moment. Boaster saves the day on the frenzy, keeps the numbers in their favor, 4 versus 2. Zipan and Sagetsu left to do it all, make that just the cipher of Navi. And with damage done, it might look a little bit easier, but when you see those guns in firing squad positions, there's naught to do. Thrifty for Thrifty traded out 11 to 7. The gap is 4, but if they keep trading back and forth, Navi will be closing this out with 2.
Yeah, it's a very aggressive stance for a round where you know your opponents don't have finances. Like, this was so risky from the side of NAVI. The double push-up up against that Blade Storm gave them an opener, and then from there on out, it's just fantastic from Fnatic to make sure that any of the cheeky plays just don't work out. I think especially Angel's swing was just... It was basically throwing everything into the wind. Everything relied on him just getting a multi-frag there, otherwise the round falls apart.
Full as others. Sagetsu, Xiao, not so much, but Zipan, and that Blade Storm for Ardis. And that's the real one in this round. I'm expecting him to pop it right off rip, Frenzy to fall back on. And we said about his mid control, how dangerous it can be. Perhaps we'll get to witness it here. He's backed off from short already though, on the rotate into the spawn where he'll be jump peeking, spotting that no one's pushing mid, and it looks like the gamble from him will be the B side. As well, Tom, with Navi having dominated around before, I think it was a flawless, if I'm not mistaken, when they had these, or very close to, when they had these pistols. I can understand why Fnatic are so slow at the start, but they're now starting to group up and look towards the site.
I wouldn't mind seeing them use a lockdown here, honestly. Just to make sure that you can convert this round. You know that there's going to be something in play. The safer you can make this, the better. And you already see they're using the paranoia and a drone, but instead there's the counter. The knife was a split second late, just a millisecond earlier, and that wouldn't have worked. Now again, they've already got that man advantage. You can see instead it's going to be the Hunter's Fury, and while they've managed to isolate Ardis, that's the main one. Shot not connected either by Angel. They see Xiao, low HP with everything to find, and they've done well. They've cleared things out without too many problems. Just the initial fight didn't go their way. And now, well, unless Sugetsu's going to pull something truly impressive off with a rifle, you'd expect this one to go the way of Fnatic.
Yeah, the peek out of Durka as well, a little too high octane for them. 1 versus 3, Sagetsu, no abilities, not that they'd help here, and the main thing being that Leo is on his way slowly up behind him. If this does get out of hand, he's the man that's relied on to close out the round, possibly even to find the exits, as we can see Sagetsu inside main doing very much the same. He's going to let Fnatic exit this site and try to take the weapons out of their hands.
Does Leo read it? If he does, then he can basically save his team a hell of a lot of weaponry, and that's exactly what he does. Well played from Leo, well played from Fnatic. It definitely looked like that got dangerous, at least for a second, but it's not going to work out for Navi this time. Even still, this is where they come back in with a purchase. It literally is a split second from him losing the knives. It's a little bit unlucky, but as I said, I don't mind Fnatic committing an ultimate here just to make sure that this round ends up being clean. Because if it goes back, I think that's where they lose the game.
I mean, just a glorious read, though, and a great call from Angel on the other side, to, or from whoever came up with that one. Ardis initially peeks out on mid, sees no one there, pops the ult, runs to B, and waits for contact. The second the drone is heard, counts it up, lets it round the corner, and up he goes. The exact idea being they're going to use that lockdown, and we can punish it. It worked, at least to punish the lockdown, but now Fnatic have that ult to use here if they so wish.
Yeah, they've already spotted a couple of players. Counter knife, there is that lockdown, which is going to force them into more awkward positions. Nice shot from Xiao, though. They may just opt to try and play the retake from this position. Angel, though, is going to take down a second. There's no way they're getting into this site at this point. Counter Hunter's Fury as Na'Vi want to get themselves to 12, although it hasn't connected onto anyone. Alpha, he's taking a risk, he's taking a gamble, he's got a chance to 2, and he finds it as well. Leaves things into a competitive position. He may have gone down, but he's given them a chance. Leo and Boaster stuck in a 2v3 scenario. No abilities to be had. They're going to be stuck at the back of the site, waiting for their opponents to commit to this. Artist with an operator, honed in on this position, waiting for somebody to try and swing. The timing wasn't the best, and he's not going to connect the shots, but his teammates are slowly making their way forward. Even still, though, that clock is ticking down. Na'Vi need to get a move on, and the shot's just not hitting. It's left up to Boaster. He'll get one at least, but that is all she wrote. 12 rounds will be heading onto the board, and Fnatic will have to streak 4 together if they want to take this.
OT or map 3 for Fnatic. Either way, all either team needs is a win. We saw it earlier in one of our previous series this week, Tom. Had to be a 2-0 for Heretics or else it was slipping away. Not the case here. All you need is the series, and NAVI are close to at least making that an even ground yet again. Deciding it on Bind. Oh, I feel like we're rolling back the years, especially Ascent and Bind with these teams, with these players as well. Great to see Artis back on this squad, and you really do think that's part of what they were missing in the past. 22-14, this Jet, unbelievable. Could have had someone else on the Jet, couldn't they?
Yeah, they did have seen him before.
Had a pretty decent Jet, but they were allergic to having him on that agent at times.
Well, Artis is going to be roaming into middle. Look at the amount of counter utility that's just being expended just to try and take this control. A knife, a drone. I don't want to face off against this guy. An early stack up into B as well. Same as before, but with all of the Cypher utility on the other side, you kind of understand it. There's plenty of delay available for Na'Vi. Even still, though, they are going to head into this stack up, trying to bait out that they've gone in another direction, but Na'Vi are waiting.
There's been great punishes here before. Zipan, the first man to take contact, the reveal. Not going to give any information away past that there's one player there, but now it starts to come rolling in. Oh. Dash out of Durka, but he's obscured by the smoke. Leo manages to find one with the wall back. Okay. Chronicle on the double, and they're ready for Sagetsu. They were watching it, but they turn just as he makes it through that smoke.
30 seconds
with
left.
Support on the way from Artis, they've got to deal with Sagetsu here and now. 6 HP and he's dropped, but the op swinging through. It spotted Leo, but the shot wasn't fired, not just yet. 7 bullets. Leo not going to have time to reload, not going to have time to do anything. Artis is here ahead of him. 13-8. Navi claim their home ground.
Fantastically well versus Vitality, went awfully versus KC, so I guess this is the change they've decided to make.
See if it throws off any of Fnatic's prep as we get into the game. Barriers up, and away they go. Fnatic on the attack side. They're not looking to make a move just yet. Passive play out of Alpha here, watching for any pushes up on A. The rest of the squad has their sights set on some early long control. Smoke down, used early by Xiao to deny that control. Be probably a flash burned up to get through it. Or they'll just wait it out all the way. That's the good thing about having that Gecko on Fnatic is they don't have to commit their sky flashes that don't regenerate anymore. Leo, 10 seconds after picking up Dizzy, has it back online and ready to go. And it'll be used to entry in.
Yeah, already looking to try and clear that space. Of course, context here. Winner of this map is in playoffs. That is all you need to know. The other will have to wait and see. And for Fnatic starting out on the attack side, that is where they have had some of their best performances. 10-2 after almost losing this map to Koi was how they dominated on that attack. See if they've still got it in them here already as they look to build into the A site.
This Viper wall gives them a lot of space, but the knife not going to deny the wall, but any extra entry utility.
30 seconds left.
Leo to have Dizzy back online soon, and players shifting away. But it doesn't look like that direction change is going to be sustained. Chronicle perhaps selling somewhat of a fake. The Tiger's going out.
Yeah.
While the rest of the squad makes their way back into the A side. Dizzy up top. Wingman going for the plant, and Alpha picking up one. 15 seconds left, and they've just about got this done in time. And now Navi are left scattered. 2 players on site, but they won't be taking the fights. At least you don't imagine they will until the rest of the squad rallies up. And now 4 players ready for the retake.
Yeah, they fell for the ruse and now have to deal with it. Alpha Still kicking, in fact. He's just taken over the round
One enemy
already
remaining.
with 3 kills. It's looking like Durka is going to be that second punch alongside him. And Andaluthia flawless for Fnatic as they'll take that first pistol.
Nice and clean to begin it up. It's been a couple of rounds like this from Alpha. Seems like whenever he's got this ghost in his hand, his aim is just dialed up. Nothing but headshots on those first 2, and no different for the third.
Remaining.
Very clean out of the side of Fnatic, and I don't know that the fake worked wonders over on B. The execute came in pretty quickly, but you definitely saw those players not being able to stack up, which is what NAVI have been good at, time and time again, able to get ahead. Now, the wall, I'm gonna say from Alpha, it probably, just probably, not the wall he was intending to throw out. It ends a little shallow. Just a little bit. Yeah, there it is. Thanks, Jack. Thanks for that one, Jack. Nice close-up so you can see.
It's an anti-flash wall.
Ah, yes, the
anti-flash.
famous anti-flash wall.
Anti-flash wall.
Pioneered here by Alpha Air.
It's actually named after his auntie, who is the Flash.
I see. Right. Oh, God. This is going to be a long one. Well, now look, these things for Alpha, he's not going to be able to sneak his way up close, but realistically, this isn't the round where you want to be doing that. If you're going up for Lamb's control with that Viper wall, nice and stealthy, you're going to get shortied. As we can see, Artis has one in his back pocket, well, more so in his 2 hands, ready to rumble. The orb was thrown up and over, which does deny him space, but all of this slow play on A sort of gives away to NAVI that that's not where the push is going to come through. They've decided to gamble up on B. And as we can see, that was the wrong call. Question is, does anybody make the misstep of running into Artis?
You'd have to hope there's going to be a hell of a lot of utility. Well, he's lucky to be alive himself. Now that Shorty's value is diminished
Spike planted.
significantly. In fact, they're actually going to push up quite close. Maybe there's a world where he can pull off a miracle shot, especially with Durka just sitting on the other side. Already going to take away their utility, but had a little bit of help from a friend. Zipan does manage to get one, though. Any further cost would be problematic, but they are getting wiped out. It is simplistic for Fnatic. A single kill coming across in 2 rounds is not the start that NAVI were looking for.
No. A lot of these have been that little bit closer, but I mean, the pistol, you can forgive it for sure. Let's see this lineup. Okay, so it's a little better now. We get to see on the server where Alpha has got the wall down. They just aimed a little bit too low last time. These things happen. Not very often, but they do.
It's all right. When he's 4-0, it doesn't matter.
No better round for it to happen in top.
If he was 0-4, then maybe we'd pull in the question.
Yeah, listen, but if that happens in a buy round, it could be pretty detrimental. At least it was here with the pistols. Round 3, as we saw, there was a lot brought to bear by Fnatic, and that means that they've got a lot of rifles, a lot of dueling power coming into round 3, despite those first 2. This is typically the bonus. I don't look at that this way at all. This is a full buy v full buy with a little bit of a safety net for Fnatic to fall back, knowing they can buy again if they lose this. For NAVI, they need to stop this from snowballing into Fnatic's control early on. Little tag, but that's all it amounts to.
Yeah, that's the thing. Both teams are running a similar idea when it comes to the way they're playing in those second rounds, just making sure the rifles are on board. That trip has still not been broken, but eventually will be cleared. All it really bought was a little bit of extra time, as again, it looks like they're going to go towards this A site. This time the stack is there once more. Artis still having that knife available, could catch every single member. It's definitely going to catch a few, 4 of them. That might have to put a stop to this, at least for now.
Well, they're definitely going to have to wait out the suppression. The TP available to go back if they wanted it, but I don't think they do. Durka already finding 1 nade committed, and they'll take control of Lamps. Here come the smokes. Fnatic looking to swarm the site. Sagetsu catches an angle up top, but, well, he had nowhere to go there. Big swing out of Leo, flashes through, and looks like Artis wants to do very much the same. A flash out of the smoke, and they were concealed, but Chronicle came marching in. The molly almost dropped Artis. He's down on 12 health. Xiao is tagged low, and maybe Zipan has to be the man to be setting the first foot on the site. Although with low HP, I've never seen Artis back away from a fight. Zipan down, now he has to be the man to do the damage. Here comes the swing! Artis gets them both! 1 shot needed in return, but nothing found!
His aim has been crispy today. Like we saw it on the last map. I think he's one of the only glimmers of hope in the first map. He really has just been the hero that Na'Vi have needed in many of these rounds. It's definitely good to see him back in EMEA. And well, a round where, honestly, it was needed. If a single of these shots goes amiss, he is down and out, and I think the round slips away from them.
Nice, Argus.
Either way,
Praise
it's
from
not
Angel.
going to be too much of a problem. In fact, they're going for an outlaw on Durka. This is curious, because he can still buy. I think he just wants that opening kill to try and get himself a showstopper.
I think he's also looked at the credits in play for Navi after that. A lot of damage was done. A lot of players are left low, and in fact, 4 players are coming into this round with light shields to play with Angel with none after those tags. There's a lot of potential, a high skill ceiling for Durka, who's 6-1 right now, and basically has a fast-firing operator for most of these players.
That's the thing. The reason they're pre-firing that angle is because Angel's game plan so far has just been to run and go for the trip.
Nice shot.
I think if he faced anyone other than Artis, maybe he has a chance there. But as I said, he's just not missing at this stage. But yeah, it's not a bad spot to pre-fire at all, because every single round he's placing this trip. This time he switched up his cam position to play into mid instead, but it's just a little bit of extra information. And that's all they've really got from it.
Flash up and in. Response is a snake bite from Sugetsu. Cam spotting another. That's 2 players around A. And the idea that Chronicle is in Bath is very much in their favor after the knife revealed him. Artis swings through to catch the kill, but no. The punish is there. The numbers are equalized, but Navi have got plenty more players to try to defend this A site. 3 in position up top. Zipban not blinded, not even needed with Sugetsu's shots.
Spike planted.
Made good. Boaster out of position. He tries to take advantage of it though. Getting up close on the triple box. Opportunity on the swing, but Sugetsu was ready. Just holding the angle, expecting some sort of over-aggression and finding a third with the big swing. Alpha's the last man standing with the whole squad waiting for that peak. There's no way to stop it. Defuse has even changed hands at just the last second time they were about to pull it through. But Zipban realizes he's 1 orb away, so his showstopper is now going to be online for the next round for Navi.
Yeah, I'm liking the initial stack up, and also this round was again just down to Sugetsu constantly trying to trade him out, put him in awkward positions. I think it took them a long time as well to actually destroy Angel's cam. It was constantly there just giving them extra information. I love how we had to censor the entirety of what he just said.
I was going to say, I love when you hear a player go, nice! You see him say 10 more words, they're all muted. You got a good idea of what might have been said there. Round 5. Showstopper was online for Zipban last, as they ended out the round.
It's the same again. Honestly, if they just spam that, he will die one of these rounds, because he's just walking out to put that in. Ducker, I think he was just prepared to try and deal with the trip, not prepared to deal with Artis.
Never mind your showstopper, I suppose. And the juggle of the weapons from Alpha back towards the spawn. Leo's on his way to pick that up. Which one's Alpha going to give him? Ah, it's the Guardian.
We already knew the answer.
Okay.
We already knew the answer.
Okay.
The rest of the players, though, not going to have the same luck in those fights. Like, just be able to get anything done with a Stinger or a Classic is not going to be easy. And you can see the second that Na'Vi have got that initial kill, they are back to being so ridiculously passive. They know that the trip has to be broken. The thing is, he's not moved the position of it because it's only being put there for information. They just want to know that if that position is being fought for, whether or not they have to be wary of it. Otherwise, they can gamble, they can focus onto mid.
30 seconds left.
Well, actually, Ultimate is going to be committed here.
Yeah, 2 smokes already down. Angel has a spot to duel from, and he's doing damn well. Quick double, quick triple, in fact.
Spike down A.
You see the assist come through. Artis is getting some free rating out of that one. Not too much for him to really do when Angel's popping heads like that.
Left.
Although I suppose it does help that they can't bombard him with utility and get him out of the angle. Guess we have to give him the assist.
You pretend like Angel wouldn't have pushed that, even if he was blinded, stunned, snake bit. It wouldn't have mattered. He was still going to fight for that. They are. Na'Vi, they've returned. These last few rounds, it's been a slow-paced attempt, but it's just these few little plays. You can see that there's constant wariness of where all of this utility is put into place. They have to be dealing with this. Again, the Cypher not necessarily the most common pick when it comes to bind. A lot of the time you're going to rely a lot more on that information play, like the double initiator has become somewhat of a norm. But they're still getting that. And the switch up again. This time it's going to be Hookah. Maybe after the failed attempts of the A site, there's expectations here that's going to be on to B. And it means that they can stack up a couple of players on the other side of the map instead.
Well, very slow play from Fnatic. No aggression this time seen towards A. They're not trying to move up and break the trap that we can see is not there. Soon the information will fall into their hands that B site's being approached. Boombot going through, but they haven't seen the traps just yet.
It's one of the pieces that just goes straight under it.
Typically, you'll see Durka, if you're going to use that showstopper for entry, move towards Hookah as well. I like the idea from NAVI, but they've gone a little bit of a different direction, moving exclusively through long. And if this burst comes out of Durka, there could be a free kill on the corner, but no, they've decided to move it back in the other direction.
The thing is, you've got Zepan in an aggressive spot with his own showstopper. So you imagine the second he popped the same would happen on the other side. Thrash is going to be used to take the space. Again, though, it hasn't got rid of the utility that's waiting there. Eventually, they're going to go straight through, but already, it's actually going to be Zipa. There you go, the trade out. 23 seconds, they've got to try and make a move here. Alpha, though, has stepped on when needed. That's exactly what has turned this round on its head. Everything else failed for Fnatic, but Alpha is still there.
Couldn't even get the Thrash through thanks to a brilliantly placed knife coming out of Artis, perfectly timed as well. Almost managed to catch the showstopper too. Xiao got an angle there, making a little bit of noise. Thrash part 2, and this time it's caught one. They're chasing him down, running it, but Xiao's there to protect. Flash goes in, doesn't go all the way, and Alpha realizes he doesn't want to get over aggressive. They'd already slowed them down with the Thrash connection. That should be enough. It could be enough, maybe not. Artis is in with 2. Alpha, the last man standing, suppressed as well. They've got him boxed in. The nade will keep him back. The swing will put him down. 4 on the board for NAVI, now double that of their opponents, and another fantastic round from Artis, not just in the dueling. The early utility was perfect, but the late round impact immeasurable.
Yeah, I think this was just a really good setup in general from the side of NAVI. Like having those trips there for the initial contact, that is the first time we've seen them place that utility on that spot on the map, a read onto the ults that were there. Then, as you said, the quick rotation from KO to deny them other utility that was being expended, and then just having the showstopper. Like, the rest of the players can't push in from long because he could just blast the entire team. So they are stuck in the mud. The only thing that almost saved them was Alpha. Like, the fact he gets 2 kills on the entry made that round even remotely competitive. And as you said, Artis was there for that too.
I love the synchronized Baby Bay from the coaching staff. It's perfect. Nice. As we see NAVI now set up in a prime position. Weak credits from Fnatic, not much invested. Still a little bit of dueling ability, and those stingers can be dangerous. And a Viper's Pit, well, if a plant comes in, that could definitely turn the tide of the round.
There.
Wait, it's not destroyed it?
No.
They're trying to use a blast pack to get rid of the utility, and it just has not worked. So if he tries to now go through this, he's still going to get caught. It's just irritating. Again, this is a lot of what Angel would do. He's just trying to be as annoying as possible. It was the same with his Gecko. Hyper-aggressive, ridiculous plays. And well, the trip is going to be hit, but again, it's not broken. Wow, Alpha a little bit less lucky this time.
Decent connection to start. Viper's Pit, one of the big dangers if Fnatic did get the plant in, now out of the round. Angel could be in trouble. This is a stinger up close in the trap. It might reveal, it might slow him down, but the shots need to be hit on the other side. There's the shoulder seen, spotted.
Left.
You expect that swing any moment, but Chronicle's just conscious of stepping into that trap. Flash used at the wrong moments. No way he could have known, but the snake bite came in, landed just in time. Orbital strike pushes them way out in the open, and the kills come in quickly on the back of it. Great response from NAVI, patient, as they could see Fnatic were set up to push their site. And unwavering in the defense. Now 5 in a row. There's a timeout from Fnatic, and exactly like you say, Tom, there had to be.
Yeah, they're starting to fall into every single trap that's being played. I don't mind the idea from Chronicle just to try and deep flash for his team, but again, just every single...
I mean, NAVI, just looking at that timeline as well, though, 3 diffuses, and even when they have come through, it feels like a lot of those...
Yeah,
a lot of the kills are already coming in on the way to the site. They're picking them off, leaving NAVI with advantages late in the round that they're capitalizing on time and time again. NAVI, defensive side, and looking to push up and take control over Bat. Same trap put, but this time Zipan's there to back it up. Fnatic, though, are looking for presence elsewhere, and they've already forced the Viper's Pit out of Sugetsu. It's at least something to work with. That ult not going to be placed later in the round. The post-planned ability of it neutralized somewhat, and Falfa can find his own space to get his ult in play. Well, the thing is, a lot easier to work with.
It's again another idea of just them trying to push them into Angel's utility. Like, they've got so many ideas based around this, awkward cam positions as well, and then even just a three-man stack up. The thing here, though, is the ults. Like, if Fnatic don't manage to get this round through, where they almost have themselves a Seeker, Viper's Pit, as you mentioned, but also an Orbital Strike, which is always so good for just forcing players out, especially in a position like Lamps. I don't know how Xiao actually plans to get out of this one if things go wrong.
Something terrifying about Angel on the Cypher as well. Having all that time to sit back and calm, look in his camera, spotting them on the cross. There's two on their way over. Flash, nade used, but nobody is inside of Lamps. NAVI have given up that control, playing on the backside instead. Angel wants to keep Bath in their hands. It'll be off the contact of Xiao. He's pushed out by the orbital strike, and Angel's here! Maintaining all the control, grabbing the ult for information, and with 14 seconds left, you can't even commit to planting that spike. The reveal would be the end for you. There's the attempt at it, but the shots are fired back immediately. No space for Fnatic on this A side, all thanks to Angel. Another round found, and the defensive side's running away with it.
Every time they do well on this map, I see him pick an agent, and I go, surely that's not going to be good. And then it's the difference maker. It was the same with his Gecko versus Vitality. I went, I don't know how that's going to work. And then he drops, well, was it 25 kills, 15 deaths, playing basically entry. This time, his Cypher again just hits the timing perfectly, gets his ultimate, reveals everyone. As you said, it's just too disruptive. Like, the guys on Fnatic would have to take the biggest risk of all time of planting while they're visible through a smoke. It's just not going to happen. And while the ult was committed as well in the orbital strike from Boaster, it achieved something, but very little in the grand scheme of things. 6 rounds in a row now for the side of Na'Vi. We don't normally sing the praises of their defense, and well, we talk about this man being hit and miss, but so far it's been nothing but hits.
All right, he took back a trap earlier on to place that one.
Camera taken out.
I mean, I can't question what the hell is going on inside Angel's brain, but I wish I understood it. Because the guy knows. He knows a lot more than I do. Oh, okay. No, that was too much. That flash, just a second too early. Maybe a little more.
Oh, they've thrown out Thrash here. Fnatic believing they can take this round home. It's going to be returned to Leo. Sugetsu has got this timing spot on. There has to be somebody watching this, and there isn't. They are not ready for the swing. First his way. Artist takes the other one away from him, but that doesn't mean he's stopping anytime soon. It's left all onto Boaster, and he has absolutely no idea where Zipan is coming from.
30 seconds left.
Just an irritating position, and nade to bring him low as well. Forced out, he's not even going to get away from it. It's another round for Na'Vi that, again, things were committed there by Fnatic. It's damage, but look at the credits.
Well, that's it. 7-2 for Na'Vi. No hassle in terms of buying up weapons. Later on, as you said, their credits stacked high, and that was before the round officially ended. Maxing out a lot of these guys. And with such an aggressive lead, you have to hope that for Fnatic, they've got some fight in them in these last couple rounds. We saw Navi equalize up to 7-5 in the first map. Fnatic need to do the same. Viper's Pit, still there. Seeker, still there, but post plans for Fnatic, they haven't been there.
Yeah, it's also worth mentioning as well that although a win for either side will get them qualification, I do feel like Fnatic might be in a slightly more dangerous spot. I think Na'Vi, they, especially after winning a map, it will come down to round difference or something like that versus Gentlemates, who have a really bad round difference. Whereas for Fnatic, there's still a few teams that could make it through. Nonetheless, it's not over yet, but that's not the start they were looking for already. Zepan is going to find the opener and put them at a man disadvantage once again.
Yeah, Durka's first map was lights out. Not a good round from him here as he's shut down early, and they go right into the judge of Sagetsu to try and recover these disadvantages. Well, that's not going to happen. Mosh Pit Wingman committed. Traded weapon for Sagetsu, and Artis is picking them up on the cross while their eyes are set on lamps. They weren't ready for the Bath player to go swinging. 8 rounds on the board. NAVI showing no signs of slowing down. Credits for the rest of the half. Ultis will come online before this one ends, and Fnatic, well, hey, Tom, they've actually still got their Viper Spit.
They have. They've had it for a while now as well. And I think the most dangerous thing it's currently at this point is you have to remember the game they had to come back from versus Koi. Like, they had a horrific time when it came to their defense. Yeah. Like, the reason they needed an incredible comeback was because they had such a poor first half. So this is really scary for Fnatic. At least getting those last few rounds are going to be integral.
Hear me out. Maybe they're setting up an 11-3 scoreline to do the funniest thing. They got Mini back.
Right.
It's all adding up.
I didn't realize you were running the Fnatic Twitter account on the side.
It's all part of the plan. I was speaking to Devard.
Oh, that's so sad as well, yeah. I like Devard. You've taken his job with the pure cope. He's probably tweeting just skeletons right now.
I don't think I can do it better than him. I'll be honest. He's always got faith. Well, 2 rounds on the board for Fnatic. Here's a chance to make that a little bit better. They're moving towards B. Another setup from Angel awaits them. They couldn't crack it last time. Last time, it was Chronicle sent there with a stinger.
Always in the right place. It's actually annoying me every single round. His setup is on the right side of the map. This time as well, they have the 2 agents that can bring the most delay. Seeker's in.
Cage trigger.
Already going to be putting in a cage just to allow him to escape, but he's still hiding around the edge of the Viper screen.
30 seconds
The Seekers hasn't even allowed them really to clear anything. They're going to have to go through, pop through, but now the supporters come in. They're running into the trips. Still, you've got Artis here, and he has not really been missing. They need to clear him from this corner. He's going to swing back out. Angel under pressure, but he's able to turn. Hits the deke and hits the shot onto Darker as well. He's done so much damage, and still just clearing him from this spot is going to be impossible. Finally, Alpha will put him down. But even still, they're going to have to stick the plan. They need to stick the landing, and it's not going to happen. Sugetsu's already dropped it. The round's already over. And now it's about whether or not Alpha can survive. And the answer, is no.
Last round in the half.
Oh, this is not the way you wanted to see Fnatic go out in this series. A great start, 13-6 on the first map. It got away from them on Ascent. You always expect Fnatic to creep back up into it. But at 9-2 down, how far can this go?
That's the thing, though. This season especially, this has been the NAVI way.
Yeah.
They lose map 1, you go, oh my god, they've overcooked it. They're not going to pull anything out here. And then they change something up on that 3rd map. They always just seem to deliver. Their series have not been clean this season. I think one of them has been a 2-0. That was versus Vitality. Every other one, well, they even lost last week to BBL. That was a shock. They could have been qualified at this point. They probably should have been.
Yeah, not to take anything away from BBL, but that was a match that we had already decided the conclusion in our heads. Angel's been playing a lot of rounds where he doesn't have a second trap put down. He's always putting these wires in later into the round. This time it's destroyed off rip, and so is Durka. They finally try to take the space to delete Angel, and there's 2 players stood on top of the site waiting to take a fight. Where's Angel, you might ask? Inside a smoke, waiting to fight, avoiding the orbital strike on the site. A couple of these players are in awkward positions, and Angel is forced back by the flash. Xiao, only good for 1, returns an orbital strike to slow them, but with Artis down, now it's looking winnable for Fnatic. 3 rounds on the board at the halftime. Viper's pick coming through. Chronicle on another kill. This is it. They've even managed to take down Angel. It looks like it's all set up for victory on the side of Fnatic. Better late than never. 3 rounds. With a pistol, maybe they can make their way back through. All they have to do is avoid going down to Zipan. Still, a little bit to play with. No utility, though. It's all down to the fight, somewhere that Zipan can definitely find himself coming ahead, and that's why Fnatic were cautious, waiting till all 3 players could get their sights on that final man. 9-3 at the half. It's not great. It's not ideal. And when you think about the fact that Fnatic won the pistol, it gets that little bit more scary. But now they're on the defense, Tom. Anything could happen.
Well, you know, they had a rough time on it last time out, but that probably means they've been working on it. That's gonna be the thing you have to try and fix. I will say as well, NAVI, historically, very good on their attack. That's always been where this team has thrived. Obviously, last time out, they were running that double initiator, so instead, Angel's just going to be a Cypher duelist, almost guaranteed. He's going to be running it down. The fact is, though, for NAVI, they are 4 rounds away from making it to the playoffs, a place we've expected them to be. They've had a fantastic season. It seemed like...
It's going to be, it's like one of those big dogs carrying a little owner along.
You.
Wow. First Mini, now you.
I'll call it first Mini,
first you, yeah. First you, then Mini, now you again. I suppose that's more it. But now the whole team can be right behind him, getting dragged along by his speed, his aggression, and his shots that he's been landing again and again. 9-3, pistol round. It's so valuable for Fnatic. They want it, they need it. For NAVI, not looking to stress this one too much, not looking to overcomplicate it. 5 players moving towards the A site, and guess who picks up the opening? It's Artis and Angel. Well, he's keeping the theme of the first half. Bathroom control is all his. Boaster looks to battle the IGL on the other side, but the cage has bought enough time for him to tuck away, or maybe for Boaster to tuck away, and now come take this fight with Chronicle.
So much information. Angel just about survives. Should be traded out. Although now that he's got the info, he may not even want to fight this anymore. Plant still yet to come in. Boaster has been able to find one. Now he's desperately low. Alpha still fighting. Normally good in these pistol round scenarios, but they're going to reposition this. I don't know if they'll expect the late lurk. It's left up to Boaster. Just 4 HP as Angel wants to try and take him down. Maybe the disrespect. He's got to be careful. He's run out of bullets. They know exactly where he is. And on the other side, you can see Xiao is like, well, you know what? I'm going to let the old boys fight this one out. Some fisticuffs, and I'll just go and support Zippad on the other side of the map.
Angel gets right out of there. I mean, he's done his job. He's 3 HP, Boaster's 4. I guess Boaster won that fight. So he can hold his head high. Unfortunately, the rounds won't be matching suit. Double digits for NAVI, unless in the next couple of seconds, someone unplugs all their PCs.
I think even then the spike might go off.
At this point, yeah.
Is Angel going to end it with a 4K as well? He really is. I don't know what it is. It's like a 50-50. Flip a coin. He'll either be the best player in the server or the worst.
Or Alpha will be.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
pistols.
Well, 14-7 right now. His Cypher has been fantastic. And even playing a slower lurk, that's not a face you normally see from Angel at all.
Yeah, right? I mean, I guess he did go for a fight. Oh, it's good to see Angel laughing it up on the stage. And like we said, you know, for Fnatic, this is a series that obviously would qualify them, and that above all else is the goal. But the rivalry between these two squads. And you know what the worst thing is? It's been a while since Fnatic have had to deal with Angel, had to listen to this guy after they lose to him. I think they might have forgotten how frustrating that is to run into him in the hallway after the game.
Yeah. Someone will ask, why did you pick Cypher? And he'll go, oh, I just decided. Like, I just fancied it. Like, he'll give you absolutely nothing. He could have been planning this for the last year. You'll never know. And Eric will back him up on it as well.
Oh yeah,
the two biggest betas in the entirety of the VCT. And they've got Artis on their team.
It's always some BS. Well, when I put the milk in my cereal, it sort of looked like Cypher.
Hello, revenge. There you go. Check your corners.
Well, that's 1 kill. Few more need to be found.
Yeah, and that's also just a pistol gun. It's not too much of a risk for Angel. I think it's the gamble. This is a good read from Fnatic. They are rotating almost the entire force onto this side of the map. Now, the weaponry is still desperately low. That knife. Yeah, maybe this will be the moment.
They're going in.
They decide to go back. I don't know. With the nade kill, oh, they're still hesitant. There's only 20 seconds now, so they are going to continue this push. Now, the weaponry is still desperate. They know there are players here, so there's not going to be anything missed. Leo is going to try and just round the corner, cause issues as they reposition on the plant. And if Alpha had any other gun, maybe there'd be some belief. Oh, he's always so clean with the classic. You know what, Mitch? You can't come back from 11-3 if it doesn't get to 11-3.
That's true. This is what I'm saying, Tom. It's all part of the plan. Many of us have seen Boaster in these situations before. I think he's just tired. The last picture he has in this situation, He's got new hair since then. New style. He's updated, and he wants to show it off.
Wasn't the last one like a week ago?
I don't think we didn't get the iconic picture though, right? Like,
Okay,
are
because
his
we didn't
hands-
zoom in on his face. It doesn't count.
He's not doing the pose. He's not doing the pose. It's over. It's over, Tom.
Shutting them down.
Let's see if there is going to be a response. Already, Boaster off to a good start. That's going to be Zipan down. Definitely not as strong as up high. And okay, he's almost taken out Sugetsu as well. A fantastic start, but funnily enough, the danger men are coming from a different position. Angel is one of them. Already looking, he's going to swing off this. Eventually falls back, and actually Ardus found another one. This is it. It's just falling apart. It's completely falling apart. It started so well for Fnatic, but they may even just have to save.
Spike planted.
It's probably the right call. But at 11-3, to be honest, I'm not even sure there is a right call.
No.
You do what you feel. And if Chronicle and Alpha feel like this is the win coming for them with the damage that's being called out by teammates, Ardus, Sugetsu, both decently low. I don't know though, Tom. At this point, they've taken so long to get back in. The knife delays them. You also have to think about how much utility is still in play for Navi. They have snake bites. They have mollies for post-plant. At a certain point, you realize this is done. And I think it's now. It's now that you've seen no one on the site. Why are they not on the site?
Player standing.
Because they're sitting back, holding, and playing their util. Molly hasn't even been expanded and doesn't need to be. Didn't even mention the nade from Ardus as well. They had so many ways to fall back into that round, and for Fnatic, the attempt to go in means they lose one more rifle. Only Chronicle to save. 11-3. They've done it before. It was an impressive comeback each time they did it. 12-3. Now that's one for the books.
Enemy remaining.
They'd have to... Well, you know what? Once with Mini, once with Elmer Pony combined, maybe they can get one extra round. No, I'm not believing at this stage. It would be the most absurd thing we've ever seen, but the fact is Navi have been a different gravy on this map. Performing to a ridiculous standard. They deserve their spot in the playoffs, and Fnatic, as said, they're going to have to pray for others to fail. As their life will be in others' hands unless they can win 9 rounds in a row. And I don't know if even the most hardcore Fnatic fan could believe in this sort of comeback. Weaponry's not even going to be perfect. Ult's not yet online, although Boaster's very close. I can't imagine Navi are even breaking a sweat. They've been laughing, joking. The second that second map begins, and it seems like they're just a different team. They wake up. Can Fnatic at least get a few more rounds on the board?
Just to have that better face about them. This is a team that never believes in a closer scoreline, only fighting for the victory. Those comebacks, the way these rounds have gone too, some utility here canceled out before they can even get it rolling. Flash from Ardus, space taken, but they can go back, and that's the idea. Angel is lurking up to try to find some space. Cage activated as he crosses through and takes Lamb's control. 2 players TPing the bathroom fight.
30 seconds
This is where
left.
Durka could end it. He could stop them here with the spike on the ground. There's one already, and the spike is the next one around the corner. Boaster picks up one in the back lines, but Xiao finds it. He can still step forward with Sugetsu dropping Boaster. Another falls. Out goes Leo, and down he goes too. It looked like they could even win this on time. But now time is running low as the spike is planted. And Chronicle finds himself against Xiao, Angel, and Sugetsu. Angel still on full HP. The Marshal looking to take him down. The Molly post plant. Double snake bites as well. Xiao and Sugetsu don't intend to fight. That's Angel's job, if even we get that far. And at this point, for Chronicle, he has to find these kills so quickly. He has to go steaming forward, and Angel's caught him, boxed him in, and shut him down. 13-3. The old Kings